Hey guys. All right. My name is Dr. Sharnael Wolverton Sehan. This is something we're kind of doing a little bit crazy. I'm actually from Louisiana, but I'm in Destin, Florida right now. And on top of that, we are recording live in Oklahoma for a conference there right now. Good morning. With Janelle Brookshire and Jennifer Murray and a bunch of other people who are doing a live conference right now. So not only am I talking to all of you guys here live, but I'm also talking on a big screen right now. My face is on a big screen in Oklahoma right now for a bunch of people over there in a live conference. There's Janelle. Okay, so I just want to connect with her and make sure that we're live over there. Janelle, can you let me know? Is everything sound okay over there? Isn't this cool that we can have so much technology that I could be in Destin and all of you are wherever? And by the way, if you are on here, hey Jennifer, I'm going to be doing some giveaways. I would love to hear where every one of you are from. There's several of you on here live right now. Just drop in like where you are, because I think it's kind of cool that we can all come together from faraway places and still learn from each other and be with each other in a sense. All right, so Jennifer, you can hear. Also, hey, Lakeland. Okay, we got Connecticut and Pennsylvania. Oh my gosh, lots of places. Idaho. Really? Okay, well, I'm actually from Montana originally, and I currently live in Louisiana. And like I said, right now I'm doing some working on a few projects here in Florida for a little bit of time, and hopefully be back because, oh my gosh, I want to show you the view. This is pretty freaking cool. I'm just gonna let you see this because that's how cool it is. Yeah, that's where I'm working right now. So feel the vibes, take all of that in real quick. Kinda nice. And like I said, I got about 30 minutes here to share some stuff with you guys. And you have some chances to win some things, okay? I'm going to be giving away a couple of stress aways. I don't know if you've ever used Stress Away, but it's one of my absolute favorites. All you got to do is follow the directions down at the bottom. I'm also giving away one of my crystals, oils, and energy and science membership and classes. So for those of you who are brand new to the energy game, I'm going to be sharing a little bit about all of that too. Interestingly enough, let me show you this. You might think this is cute. These are my new friends that I just got here today. So, all right. This is interesting. Okay, so I know a lot of you guys in Oklahoma are there for the Conscious Expo. And I love that because this is one of my favorite topics. I'm actually, my background is ministry. And I know a lot of y'all are working on different things with animals over there and what have you. I grew up on a ranch and we had horses and all the animals, and I actually am a naturopathic doctor, but I work with a lot of animals. I actually work with several shelters and foster kittens and do all kinds of stuff. So yes. So anyway, we're going to be talking about conscious life, conscious living. It's not a scary thing, okay? This is just a normal thing, and I'm going to make this so easy for you guys. You're going to understand some things, and I'm hoping to connect some things, not just with energy and the biofuel and oils, but how you can have a better life just based on some things that we can do and that we have discipline with, as far as your mind, your heart, your mouth, making some better choices, and to just slowing down and listening for taking this little bit of time to see how we can improve and be our best selves and do life in our dreams. Like, you can set goals, you can talk about really cool things, or you can create it. You can let things happen to you, or you can jump in and actually create your world. So I'm going to share with some, just a few simple steps, and I'm going to give you a little foundation of some of this, because I really invite you to jump in and to learn and to see that this is not scary, this is not weird, this is not like for those, sorry, weird people, got a plane going on the pass, but this is for everybody and anybody who has a pulse, who has a heart. If you have a heart, then you're creating. You are creating your world. You're not just letting things, you may be the one who's actually letting things happen, but we're going to switch that today, because I'm going to give you some tips and some ideas on why you've been getting some patterns that you've been getting, and how we can change that up so you're creating and you're the captain of your own ship, and you're more aware of what you're doing so you can get better results. So, again, I'm a naturopathic doctor. My background is ministry. I have been working with the supernatural and the quantum field and quantum science for about 20 years. And so this is really fun. I'm actually writing, I've written 3 books. I got tons of videos, and you guys could check that all out on YouTube and stuff too. And also follow me and connect with me. But we all have, when I was in school, I actually, part of my undergraduate internship was to work in cardiac rehab. And basically anybody who had been close to having a heart attack or had a heart attack would come in, and we would set them on different exercise things, and we put them on stress tests to check out how their heart was doing. We put them on proper nutrition to help them make good choices. You know, just a whole collaboration of different people would work together to get people back on doing what they, you know, what was best for them, to see them their best selves and to get back healthy. Part of that undergraduate was for me to sit in on a couple of heart surgeries. Now, I wasn't doing heart surgery, I was an undergrad, but I watched from the outside. You know how they have that screen, and you can kind of watch, and it's fascinating. It's very, very fascinating. One thing that I remembered about all of that is when the surgeons would come out, and during, sometimes they would talk about the electric current within the body. And I just thought that was so fascinating. They would talk about, they referenced it as the blue light. I wasn't connecting that had anything to do with electric anything at the time. I didn't understand that we were electric or that our bodies were electric. I just remember them talking and hearing them talk about this blue light. And multiple times I heard that. So here I am, you know, fast, way, way, way forward in ministry, doing different things, teaching, and got my naturopathic doctorate, and have been working in tons of wellness centers all over the world. I've been to 40 some countries now, and I have clients in over 15,000. I have over 15,000 clients in 44 countries. That most of them are obviously through a telephone call when we do live coaching, because I'm not going to be able to be everywhere at once, but I do a lot of teaching like this. And in that process, we were seeing that one of the big things that people would talk about, not just in physical health, but having negative patterns that they were choosing to kind of shift. And maybe you're one of those people where you're like, whether it's finances, your house, your home, your relationships, could be your health, whatever the situation is. And I started getting a little bit more into the conscious field and not just the physical health, because I'm seeing that they're all related. Like a lot of times when people clear up in a health issue, then the patterns shift on the outside with whatever is going on. Same thing whenever we're dealing with like finances, then somehow that would shift within the heart too, and within the body, and within the stress. I had some pretty difficult health scares myself, and in that I had to find my way home and get back to where I was. And in the process of that actually cleared out a lot of different patterns that I had been seeing for 20 years that I wasn't super excited about. And I had been to all the counselors everywhere, and paid a lot of money to try to see how I could get these cleared up. And Most of everyone that I ever went to focused on the outer, the external. It's like, oh, well, if you do these outside things, then the things will switch. And what I'm realizing as I get older, that frequency has a lot to do with this, and that it's all inside. Everything's an inside job. When we fix us and we change our mind, our heart, what we're feeling, what we're thinking about, what we're talking about, then the things shift around us automatically. So going back to the biofield and going back to that heart situation, I started studying what they call the law of attraction. Now, that was really scary to me coming from a ministry background, but I'm also very science. And so when people talked about this in the past, it freaked me out, to be honest. But the more I looked at the science and studied the quantum and the neuroscience and the quantum field, I was like, oh my gosh, this is not just some thing for wacky people who are hippies. Like, this is just everyone on the world who has a heartbeat. And let me explain. So your heart is the most electric generator of your entire body. That organ creates more than anything. Your brain and your thoughts actually create too. They have measured electric and electric powers and or electric fields with thoughts up to 55 stronger than 55 kilowatt broadcasting stations sending a message around the world is your thoughts. Okay, your heart is 100 times more than that. So yeah, we are creating, we are sending out messages, we're sending out code based on what we're thinking and what we're feeling, and definitely by what we're talking about, because there's frequency here, there's frequency here, and there's frequency here. So as these are in alignment, I feel like I'm doing the holy thing here. As these are in alignment, that is even more powerful, because there's a cross-pollination, there is an amplification, I should say, of all of these things bringing a frequency on a standing wave, which we're going to get to. So if your heart is, and it is, the most high-level generator of the frequency, what happens is as you are feeling things and you're pumping something out from your heart based on what you're feeling, that goes up into your brain to tell your brain, this is what I'm feeling, and then the brain comes into agreement with the heart mostly, and those things come and generate together, and then those things go out into your biofield. Now everyone has a biofield, okay? They have measured anywhere from 15 inches up to 5 feet up to 8 feet out. And that's just what we can measure. That's not even counting, only because we have restricted measuring abilities do we know that it's that far. I can tell you that I have studied people who have literally dropped in on an airplane with the intention of bringing healing to a healing meeting, and people were, quote, slain in the spirit and or healed and or having dreams and visions up to 2 miles away, and because that person's biofield was so strong. When I think of biofield too, I always think of Peter in the Bible, who remember, he walked around and he had his shadow around him, and people were touched and healed by his shadow. Think about Jesus, who was in the crowds, and when this lady touched his coat, in his biofield, he turned around, he felt it, he knew, he was like, wow, who just touched me? So we all have that, and the scriptures actually say that we get to do greater things than these. But what is in your biofield? What is in my biofield? What is the biofield all about? And you guys, I know, are working with animals. Before I even get to that part, know this: animals' biofields are even bigger on some of the animals, like dolphins. Oh my gosh, it's not measured how big their biofield is. Now, they're not as accessible to us, but they're actually putting people in tanks with dolphins, and people are getting healed of cancer, healed from getting cancer healed, transmuted, yes, or different things going on, just because they're being in the frequency of the healing of the dolphins within these tanks. Now, we don't have access to dolphins on a regular, although I did see about 25 of them here below. I know you guys are working a lot with horses over there in Oklahoma. Horses have a biofield of at least 350 feet, which is why when you guys come in with your horses, if some of you may board or whatever, you guys go out and you're coming in to feed or whatever, and they know, like they knew 350 feet away already that you were in their field. They're very, very sensitive. They're hypersensitive, and they're using a lot of horses for healing. They're way more attainable than dolphins, and there's so much healing. Animals in general, their main job on this is they transmute our energy. And so if you've got mixed bad vibes or energy in this biofield based on what you're thinking and what you're feeling, they sense that, and they actually do everything they can to transmute it, to clear it, and sometimes take it on, which is not good. When I work with animals and in the shelters and wherever, if I'm just people, clients, if someone brings me an animal, I always know that the animal is just a mirror of whatever dis-ease is going on in the owner of that animal. So we can always look to our animals to find out what's going on with us. And so be very, very careful and keep your energy clear and clean for your animals, because it's real, we want to keep our animals healthy, and they're just doing their best for us. But this biofield, what's in your biofield, what's in my biofield, is what it's based on the energy of what we're thinking, what we're talking about, and what we're feeling. So I'm going to give you a picture here of don't laugh at my picture, okay? I'm going to show you just a little stick figure thing so you can get a visual. I'm a very visual person, and I'm hoping to be able to share this with you. I've not done this before like this because of where we are, but I'm going to just do my best. So check this out. All right, I hope you can see this. Okay, I know there's a reflection here, but is that backwards? Oh my goodness. All right, let me change this. There we go. Is that forward? Okay. So this is a positive electric biofield. Can you guys kind of see that on the screen in Oklahoma, or any of y'all out there? This is you. Aren't you cute? Yeah, I'm really cool. I'm such a good drawer, right? Let me see if I can focus that better. Yes. Okay. So that is you. You're a happy little face. And this is your heart, okay? And this is your biofield all around. All right, this is a positive electric biofield. So up here, these are the things you're thinking about, really groovy things. I know everyone says I don't write well. I'm a doctor, give me some slack. So love, joy, peace, provision, truth, all of these are really good. And see, all of this is in your biofield too, because you got like hope and truth and peace and provision and joy. All of those have pluses on them because they're positive. All of them positive, see? And all of this is like an encased little area of you right here. And your biofield, they call it bio because it's two, okay? Your bio is both electric and magnetic. Electric and magnetic. So whatever you're thinking about, what you're feeling, what you're talking about, all of that is going to affect your biofield, hopefully in a positive. Hopefully if you're thinking about love, joy, hope, peace, provision, all of those things, then that's going to give you a very, very positive thing. Now, again, bioelectric, in bio meaning two, it is both electric and magnetic. This is important. Electric and magnetic. Electric meaning you send out whatever you're feeling, thinking, talking about, and magnetic meaning you draw it in. You magnetize those things to you. So whatever you are is what you get. Whatever you're talking about is what you get. Whatever you're thinking about is what you get. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As a woman thinketh in his heart, so is he. So we have to be very, very careful about what we're thinking about and what we're feeling. I'm supposed to be going till 10 o'clock, right, Janelle? I'm just making sure that this is right. Okay, so I want to show you a negative field as well, because Some of you may not be thinking positive. I hope you're not. Some of you may be having fear issues or whatever's going on. Let me show you what a negative one would look like. Okay. So, all right, Janelle, I see you. This is a negative biofield. Look how sad that face is. That is not a happy face. Negative. All right. Fear, lack, judgment. What else does that say? Sad, different things, lies. These are all in the negative. Negative one, negative one, negative one. So pretend, and not pretend, realize, I should say, that every negative thing that you're thinking actually brings a negative frequency, a negative vibe. So if you're positive, you're going to have positive vibes. If you're negative, you're going to have negative vibes. There's very, very reality to all of this. This is science. This is real. It's not oogie boogie. It's not just for the hippies. It's not just for all those universal people out there. This is for everyone, for all of us. Have a heartbeat. So if you're having both positive and negative things going on, you can actually have mixed energy. I want you to write down this scripture. I'm going to show you this too. Proverbs 4:23. It actually says to guard your heart, because out from it is the outspring of life, or the outsource of life. I have been reading my Bible since I was 13 years old. And I have looked at that scripture a long, long time, but I actually just, in the last 10 years, have understood what guard your heart really means. When I thought of guard your heart in the past, I thought of guarding it, as in like to protect myself, to keep other people out, to be, in a place of needing to block other people or protect myself or keep myself in. Guard your heart actually means to observe the deposit with diligence, to observe, to be aware of, to be conscious of what's going on in your heart. And why is God saying that? Why would God say guard, be aware, be conscious of what your heart is feeling? Why would he say that? He says that because whatever you are, you get. Everything that you pump out of this heart goes out into the biofield, and it's radiating out, but it's also electric. It's also magnetic, meaning it comes back to you. You magnetize it. You get what you are. So God is saying guard your heart, because he's saying observe this. Observe what you're feeling. Observe what you're thinking about. Observe what you're talking about. Be conscious of it. Be aware of it, because the way I made this universe, God's saying this, the way I made this universe is I know my own laws, and the law of attraction is real, just like gravity. And everything you think and everything you feel and everything you talk about, you get back. You get a match. And so even in judgment, in Matthew 7:2, it says, judge and you will be judged. Why? Because if you judge anyone, no matter what, even the slightest, and judgments are so subtle, but if you judge, then you put the energy out there and the frequency and the code of judgment, and then that judgment is in your biofield, and guess what? It will look for a match. It will look for someone to judge you. And so not only when we're judging, are we judging our brothers and sisters who are in God's image, but we are getting a match back to it, and it's pretty quick the more awake we are. So you only get where you are. Your subconscious is very literal. It doesn't say, oh, she's just having a bad day, and let's not make that code. Let's not put out the code today because she's just off. It's going to be exact match, and it's going to go looking around to try and find something to match it back to you. So if you're putting out love, guess what? You get love. If you're putting out hope and truth and peace and prosperity and generosity, then guess what? You magnetize that back to you. That's why even with giving, the science of giving is so amazing, because your limbic system cannot tell the difference between real things happening or something that you're watching on TV. they can't, your limbic system can't even tell the difference between your own imagination and what's really happening. As we image, I love that word, imagination, as we image and hold the vision, as we're holding that, we're actually creating code that goes out, and that code goes out into the biofield, and guess what? The biofield looks for a match. And so you are creating, you're co-creating on this co-mission here on the planet or Earth. You know, we are sent here, we are pre-sent, but we're here to do something really cool. And you are creating one way or another. So you can either create through your imagination and your heart something really crappy and terrible and bad patterns, or you can create some really cool stuff. It's completely up to you. You are making stuff anyway. Hey, Jared is watching from Paris. Oh my gosh, happy late birthday. Sorry for that. He just surprised his wife with a 2-week vacation in Paris. I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, but yeah, so he created that. He created this awesome trip to go to Paris with his wife and created the funds for it and all of that just by imagining and seeing himself there and getting there. And you can do that too, whether it's a job situation, a health situation, a relationship situation, anything. You're creating everything anyway. So why don't you just create some cool stuff? Let's look at another biofield situation here, because I choose for you to really get this. Remember, he said, guard your heart, which actually means be aware of what you're thinking and what you're feeling, because out from it flows the outsource. It's a flowing spring or an outsource. Be aware of what you're thinking and feeling and talking about, because it's creating. And God wants you to create cool stuff. God wants you to get a match back to some really cool things and not keep getting the same old things. I think a lot of times that we're like, oh God, please. And he's down there going, oh my God, oh my me. Like, you do it. You're doing it. Like, do something different. Make it different. Let's look at, that was kind of a joke, but not really. So look at this. Okay. So as we have alignment, let's say we're thinking about I am provision, and that's a positive. I am provision in your mind, in your heart, and in your talk. Then you get a 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 = 3, which is actually really 3. Yes, 3. What does that say? Which is actually 1 to the 3rd power, which really it isn't, but for the sake of these things, I just like the Trinity, and I think about how, like, when we're in union and when we remember God is within us, and it's the kingdom of God within. He's all around us too, but he's inside. And when we're thinking about all the things that God is, and all the positives, whether it's heart, mind, talk, provision, health, whatever, love, then we get pluses. So they just start adding up. It's equations, it's code. This is what's all in the biofield. What happens? Just look at this biofield. What's going on here? Can you guys see this? Wherever you are? This is someone who's kind of mixed, right? Because they're thinking about love and fear, but they're also thinking about lack. And if you see it, they got some pluses and some minuses. Some pluses, some minuses. Some pluses, some minuses. Now remember, everything is radiating out, 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 but also it's pulling in. It's magnetic. So everything is going out, but it's also pulling in. So what happens if you have a mixed bag of electric field? You're kind of looking like this. You get 1 + 1 + 1 = 3, -1, -1, -2 + 1, -1 + 1. You see what I'm saying? All day long. That's called energetic purgatory. I don't know if you can really see that. That's a chick in jail. Really sad looking. Yeah, does that make sense? So you can do this all day long. You could be like, well, I hope I get that job, but I'm not sure if I am. But, you know, last time I tried to get this job, they wouldn't let me. But, you know, I really do want the job, but, you know, or whatever. Or I really choose to be healthy, and I'm super going to eat some good things and talk about good things, but I'm going to go call everybody and tell them how sick I am. You know, there's just like positives and negatives, okay? And since we're talking about that, I want you to look at this, because this is a real big key for you guys. Look at this. Then we have the collective consciousness alignment. I hope that this is okay with the glares here. But have you ever been held hostage in a group text? Anybody? Social media is a big thing. We are all connected here. This is all connected. We think that we're all alone, but we're really all connected on a conscious level. When we look at everything, because of the biofields, we're all connected. So if you are posting really negative things, let me show you this. You can have a positive in your mind of what you're thinking, a 1 + 1 + 1 = 3, but then you have 300 friends on Facebook that you post something on. Well, now all of your friends have all connected with your negativity or your positivity and their hearts, minds, and talk. And guess what? Oh my gosh. Whether it's a group text, a Facebook, a YouTube, whatever it is, you have the power to multiply and divide your feelings. And it's going to be either positive or negative. Positive or negative. Think about the news. Oh my gosh. 1 + 1 + 1. Billions of people watch the news all at once. And they are using the news to get everyone in a collective consciousness of fear and really, really terrible things. Brainwashing. Brainwashing and programming. They call it that for a reason. It is pretty powerful, and there is definitely some agendas going on there to keep people in the thought process of it's totally fine and cool and normal to be sick and have drugs and to get chemo and whatever. You can be upset with me if you want, but and all the political stuff and all the division of men against women and races against races and constantly showing the negative things that are going on between stuff instead of focusing on the really cool things that are happening, like real live people doing really cool things and blessing each other and helping each other. You notice that they don't post any of that? You notice they don't put that on the news? What would happen if that was happening? What if we just only focus on good news, or at least a balance of not just terror and negativity and crimes against nature and animals and women and whatever, and children. Just think about what would happen with that one shift of us getting on board with, turning off the news and stop going to the scary movies. Because again, the limbic system cannot tell the difference between fake and real. So if you are focused on watching all that stuff, your body will respond as if it's happening anyway. And then that goes into your biofield. Not only does that affect your cells and your brain and your organs and cause your immunity to shoot down and have some really bad stuff happen because your brain is locked into that negativity and high levels of cortisols are dumped off and all of that stuff. But even watching scary news and news or movies or anything like that, yes, we gotta hurry. So if we're locked into that, we're gonna get an energetic response because your limbic system cannot tell the difference between if you are in your cute little house with perfect blue painted walls or if you're actually in the zone of whatever's going on in that box that you're looking at or that screen at the movie theater or the music you're listening to or whatever. Think about this. If your mind can conceive it, then you can create it. If your mind can conceive it, then you can create it. And God gives us every idea. Everything comes from Him, and we birth it twice. We birth it once in our mind, and then we manifest it in the physical. Every single thing in the world has been thought of first before it was created. It was thought of first. So as we conceive it in our mind, then we also conceive it in our imagination, and we image or imagination and or manifest it. So I have a couple more slides and then we're going to be done. How can we shift a few things here? Well, for one, essential oils are big. I'm going to give this to Janelle better, but essential oils all have frequency, and you can put some of these on your body and just layer them into the future, fitness, joy, peace and calming, fun, abundance, valor, clarity, transformation, believe, grow. All of these things have frequency and code, and there's a big chart right here that goes into the frequency. Like abundance has 78, acceptance 102, awaken 89, brain power 78, forgiveness 192, envision 90, Melissa 102. A healthy body is 67 megahertz on a regular, and this really affects the biofield, because these oils are electric and they are light. We come from light, and God is light, and these little things are light. This is light right here. So then we amplify light. After you use the ones I just said, then you put grounding ones on. You use like myrtle, cedarwood, patchouli, any of the woods, Idaho, blue spruce, northern lights, grounding, cypress. Any of the woods ones are really, really good to layer on top, just to get grounded on top. I hope you guys can see this. I will give this to Janelle. And here's a couple that are really good support for the electric biofield: sage and white angelica. Definitely, definitely. I will post this chart in the video so you guys can see it better. But if we can really focus on doing some positive things, then you guys can really see some cool things. I have like 2 more seconds here. Definitely remember that photons actually align with belief systems. Photons or light will align with belief systems. So as you change this, and you change this, and you change what you're talking about, and your discipline, it says scripture says we demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of our God, and we take captive every thought and we make it obedient. How do we make it obedient? We replace it. So how do we replace it? That means if you're starting to think fear, then you immediately have to stop yourself in your tracks and say no, and you replace it with something else. You know, imagine like if you have a car on the top of a hill and it's starting to roll down the hill. This is like your brain rolling down the hill. If you get in front of it right away on this hill, you could probably stop it and just push it back up real quick. But if you get it midway down the hill, you're going to get ran over. And so if we can, I invite you to replace, I just spit. I invite you to replace your thoughts very quickly with positive things. Maybe have some decrees like, I am love and I stay. I am the ascended Jesus Christ, permanent light, love, and victory already attained in my health, in my love, in my marriage, in my family, in my thriving family. Only God touches me. Gosh, I mean, you come up with your own stuff, but I have mine, and I keep them pretty regular for any situation that comes, in my situation, because we are surrounded with stuff that culturally can get us, attempts to suck us into their negativity, whether it's programming or DNA structures or signature codes, which you guys go to my videos. If this is something that is good for you and you're learning something from this, then I know you're going to learn more from my videos. But go to my YouTube channel. I have tons of videos on the science of words, the science of thoughts, the science of miracles, conscious language, how to shift all of this stuff, because my heart is to see you guys walking in your perfect destiny and doing your stuff, because we are here for a reason. You're here and you get to do stuff that I can't do. I mean, I can, but not in your way. You express love and God in a way that I don't. And there's people that will listen to you that may not listen to me, but they'll listen to you. So, and there's people that will listen to me and get this, and they'll go change their whole life. But I really invite you to go to my website, swiftfire.org. You can go to the bookstore. There's tons of stuff there. Go to my Divine Science group. Get in there, because there's constant videos in there. Yes, thriving, not just surviving. And definitely go to my YouTube and watch this stuff and just reprogram. Reprogram. Listen to what truth is. Get with people who are in truth. Listen to people who are in truth. Get a coach. Get a consultation, outcome map, use oils, use crystals. Crystals are a big key. Big key. Crystals, oils, energy, anything, juicing, nutrition, positive thoughts, being around positive people. There are so many different things that you can get locked into that can actually shift your biofield, therefore shift your outcome, because you only get what you are. So it all starts in here and it all starts in here. But as we shift these things, guess what? The inside job will shift the outside. And I have done this with a ton of different things, and I know all of you can too. I invite all of you too. So thank you again, Janelle. It's 10. Thank you so much for having me at this conference. I do pray for all of you as you jump into the other speakers this time, and I will be there another time live, I hope. And I thank you guys, and I see all of your upgrades, whether you're in this conference or you're just live with me today. Wherever you are, I saw all the different places you are. Let's have a big effect on the world today. Let's make some cool things and do some cool things, and start with us inside. Let's start thinking about good things and positive things. Let's only turn on those screens if there's positivity. Let's only post positivity. Let's really be conscious and aware of what we're saying, what we're talking about, what we're posting, what we're watching, and let's make a big difference. We can shift it just with all of us here, the handful of people that are on here. So do all the steps. Maybe you guys will win, and I vote all of your victory. Talk to you guys soon, and love to you wherever you are. All right, bye.